So we're doing question 3 on page 239 about chi-squared values. It's got a table there, beef, chicken, fish, type of food versus the type of dog down the other side. And they're asking us to have a look at a chi-squared test to see whether it's whether they're related or not. The null hypothesis is that there is no relationship, they're independent of between each other, so type of food eaten is independent of the type of dog, and the alternative hypothesis is that there is a relationship, that they are dependent on each other. Show that the expected frequency of a boxer's favourite food being chicken is 11. We can do the calculation of this, or we can go ahead and we can use our calculator, which is what we're going to do here. And so we start off by entering into a matrix all of the data that we need. So we create a matrix, and we look at our data here. There are totals there, so it looks like it's a 4 by 5, but we don't include those totals. So there are 4 rows, Poodle, Boxer Terrier and Great Dane, and there are 3 columns. Make sure you never include the totals. And we put our data in here. So we've got 13, 11, 8, 15, 10, 10, 16, 12, 9, and 17, 11, 8. Make sure that you can go outside that. I've been using the tab button here to go between each of those. And our tab after our last one makes sure it goes outside the matrix. Notice again, none of the totals entered in there. We then want to store this in one of our variables. So I'm going to go Control and Store, which is above the variable button there. Control and Store, and put it in, it's about dogs, so I'm going to put it in D for dogs. And hit my Enter button. And so that just tells us that it is stored then. We can then go and do our calculations. And there's only one type of calculation here, and it's in our menu, statistics, stat tests, and it's our chi-squared two-way test. Never the goodness of fit, always the two-way test. Our observed matrix, we've only got one in there, that's D for dogs. Hit OK, and it tells us all of these values. Later on, when it asks us for, in part D, write down the chi-squared calc value, there it is right there. We've already worked it out. But what we're looking for in part B is the expected frequency. And by doing that stat calculation, it actually has calculated this, but it can't put the whole thing in there. It just tells us that it is present. So to find that, we go into our var, our variables, and this lists all of the variables that are now stored in the calculator. And we're looking for our expected matrix. Put that in and hit Enter. And what we're looking for, it says, show the expected frequency of a boxer's favourite food. Boxer is our second row. Being chicken, our second column, is 11. And there it is. There's 11. Now there is another way that I think I had it right the first time, didn't I? 35 over 140 multiplied by 44 over 140, or multiplied by 140. There we go, 11. That's what I had right the first time. And so we can actually do that calculation ourselves. Part C, show that the number of degrees of freedom is 6, because we have 3 rows, 4 columns, and it's row minus 1 multiplied by column minus 1. We end up with 2 multiplied by 3 equals 6, and make sure that you write all of that down, row minus 1 times column minus 1, and then put the values in. Write down the chi-squared value. That's a calculation that we just had before, 0.675. So that was our chi-square value for this test. The critical value is 12.59. Use the critical value of the p-value, comment on your result. Because our chi-squared value is actually really low compared to our critical value, our result would be, there's the bell. Don't have time to answer that question.